Hi everyone, welcome back to Through Alchemy. So today's reading is an interesting one. We're going to be finding out which gate is opening for you, so that can be translated as what timeline you're entering into, or what portal is opening for you, to be precise, what opportunities are coming for you, or because of the ascension, where or which part of your life are you entering, like a new beginning, of course. So we're going to be finding out which gate is opening up for you in your life. So we have three piles from the left to right. The first pile is Opalite. The second pile is Yellow Agate. And the third pile is Sardonyx. Pause if you need a little longer. Pick the one which calls your name the most. Now I'm going to begin with pile number one. Hello, pile number one. If you choose the Opalite, this is going to be your reading. So, I am picking up on quite a lot of warfare, or there's something that you have been, really trying to heal. I am getting the energy of the Knight of Pentacles. Given the picture that you have chosen, I feel the need to pull out a card for you. First of all, see your current energy. Kind of like, I'm getting the word verify if this is your pile. I'm also getting the lunar change. That is kind of like in the Eight of Cups energy. It is all about letting go. I think that this is a scarcity mindset. You feel like you're, far behind in life somewhere, fending for yourself alone. A lot of dark night of the soul energy. We have the Three of Pentacles, material work. This I'm getting in reverse. You feel like things are not working out for you, have not been working out for you lately. So again, Mercury, Venus energy strong. You're not grounded as of now. I am aware of that. Page of Swords energy. She's standing in a graveyard, but she's still holding on to something. Okay, they're telling me to stop. We have the Four of Pentacles along with the Two of Cups. So this is about a choice. I wouldn't necessarily relate this energy with the love kind of a thing. I'm not getting that. So far I would think that it's more based off choice or what you think you deserve in life. Something that I'm picking up, you have been working on for a time being. I think that you were aware, or you could have not been aware of it, but there was something that you were healing. Um mm, you're confused, you're possibly coming out of a state of confusion in life. But I feel like you always knew that this was very divinely guided in some shape or form. I don't know, I feel like you saw yourself as broken or damaged in some shape or form, so that could just be about the way you perceive yourself, right? Um, Again, I keep getting poverty mindset, and this could be very related with your work situation, being stuck, and you could have had to let go of something. And even in the picture that you have chosen, there's something about it which gives me like a lot of people are walking towards it, but they give me like they're falling down, and you're looking at them and you're learning from their mistakes. So somehow life has granted you the fortune of really learning what his like observing people and their choices around you, and somewhere you see that they have adopted to the herd mentality. Basically, they have done what everybody else does, and there's some sort of like a I don't know, you've been practicing some stoicism on your end, or I see like that melting of the ice. And I'm getting very Stone Age references, like you might have been in hibernation or like hermit mode for a while. That's Virgo energy. It could be about your day to day chores and fixing up things. So I feel like it could also come in the sense where I am getting a specific message that, if there have been plans to renovate your space, your workspace, change, rent different offices or shift jobs, or there's something about construction work or like a house or pending work, or what is that word, spirit, renovation, but basically like upgrading certain things in your house. I see that happening with um I think that it's not about just the influx of money, but it's about the allocation of resources over here, like how you're going to, employ those resources at work. And some reason, I don't know if you are into, interior designing, or you're an architect, or there's inclination towards it. There's some sort of like handwork, or, this could just be like labor intensive work is also what I see. But somewhere where this was not working out for you, or you wanted that change for yourself, for shifting of houses or something like that, it's a very very physical that I see with the Three of Pentacles over here. But I think that it was requiring you to see things from a fresh perspective, like, a beginner's mind, or carrying a little bit of beginner's luck in that manner, because I think that you were already deep into this work, somewhere where, you had people relying on you, or there was some sort of presence that you already had. And I think that your ego was really stopping you. So there was some sort of I keep getting like brainwashed. So I don't know if you were already on your path, and then you got, you deteriorated, uh, diverged. My bad. You got distracted is what I am picking up. And I think that you had some sort of OCD, like I don't know, like some sort of obsessive thought patterns, which is kind of natural. Everybody does have that, but I think that when it gets overly, it gets difficult to bear, that's when we know that there's a root cause of some sort of fear that's fueling that, right? So I think that you really had to fend for yourself. And I see like this person, they're carrying some sort of weapon or an axe, and that's why it's giving me very primal instincts over here. Is somewhere where you were conditioned to go for it in a manner which was not working for you, and I feel like this would vary for every person, who it is for. But as I get, like, you were not able to give yourself the creative platform or freedom, I'd rather say, lack for a better word, yes, creative freedom. It's like this energy is giving into the intrusive thoughts, because the intrusive thoughts were the truth of you. They were directly and indirectly related with who you are at a core level. And a lot of your instincts were camouflage. I would rather say you were neglecting them, because of what you were looking at other people doing and doing in their life. And I think that life has modeled things, like the orchestration has been so precise for you. You know how it is with the universe, like uh, nothing happens by coincidence. So I don't know if you met someone, or your family situation turned out to be like that, or there's something like it became crystal clear, or it will become crystal clear. But I feel like for majority of you, you will become crystal clear, like what choices do you need to make moving forward that would be authentic and completely based on what makes you happy. Now that doesn't have to be that, if you are in a relationship, it will harm somebody. God knows what happens to that, or what happens to your friendships or your familial relations. But I see like this change really giving you like that pump that you've been looking for, is what I'm feeling, like that enthusiasm that you had lost for a while. It's like coming out of the wilderness. You know how they say, like, God or the divine leading you are out of the wilderness. So what I see as a gate opening up for you is coming out of the wilderness, getting clarity on what decisions to make, how to really move forward in life. And I know this is quite vague over here, but let's see what comes up. Okay, this was probably what I was picking up. You are enough. See, having the opalite, it is the smallest stone that I chose for your pile. Obviously, it was very intuitively, selected. The opalite, when it's in the sun, it reflects back the colors of Vibgyor or something. Do you see that? It's not really doing that right now, but yeah. Um, See, again, there's clarity. It's just giving how a rainbow comes out when the the sun is there while it's raining. I want to search for the significance or scientific reason of rainbow. Oh, okay, they're telling me Vibgyor. What is the significance of Vibgyor? Represents the colors of visible spectrum. So they are the only colors that are visible to the eye, and they are referring to the crown chakra for you, where that's why I feel like you were going through warfare, because a lot of times, 9 out of 10 times we don't even know that we're actually fighting a lot of battles in the spiritual realm, whether you are that spiritual or not. And maybe to change your perspective, I would give you, like, if you believe somebody who is going through some sort of physical disability or illness in this lifetime, or it's like you would understand that it is their karma, right? So why would you not take smaller things and I don't know, coincidences in perspective as to them being karmic or destined, or akashic records or whatever it is, but just something that was meant to happen. It's like their soul had to go through that. So I don't know if there's also like insecurities, because I'm getting first house and second house. Okay, majorly second house. This is a lot about your money, but I am getting like a small part of it could be related with body image issues, where you thought you were smaller in height, or you didn't look good enough, or there was some sort of problem with the body you were given. And I see that this is something to realize. A spiritual perspective is to realize that your soul chose the body exactly needed to fulfill what it had to do in this lifetime. So how that body aids. So if there's a person that that has a physical illness or a disability or whatever it is, it's because their soul chose that karmic lesson. They wanted to spend their life doing that. So there are certain things you can't really do anything about. That doesn't mean that they're not good enough within you. It's just your conditioning. Maybe somebody told you when you were younger that you're fat, or you're too thin, or society will never really be okay with them just getting the emphasis on height majorly for you. You think you're short, or you think you're not, you're too tall. That could also be a thing. But I'm getting specifically for a man over here who might be short. Um, Society will never be satisfied with you. They will always project their insecurities onto you. So being okay with yourself is the only way to go, and that is the tough pill to swallow over here. So I see that I'm reading that the 7 colors of the Vibgyor have its own meanings, and I want to see what is the green color standing for, and the root chakra. The green is for your heart, and the red is for your root, right? So I want to know what is. See, the first color of the rainbow is red. Furthermore, the color has the longest wavelength. I think it comes in the bottom. But I think that a natural Vibgyor starts with the color red, and the violet color comes right at the lowest. I need to see that, right? Because as a child, I always drew the yeah, I always drew the violet as the first wavelength. Yeah, it's the first one. The red one. See, she's wearing a red whatever she's wearing, a cape or a drape or whatever you like to call that. But given the red, it has hues of orange as well. It's not a perfect red, in fact. It's connected to your spine, the way you perceive yourself. Again, it is connected with your survival, with the pentacle energy, because this is a lot about the physical plane, which is exactly what is written over here. Besides Buddhism and Hinduism, the red arc relates to the base or first chakra, which connects a human being to the physical plane. That's what I said, right? Um, we should read the blue as well. Whoa, this is nice. So the blue, because she had the blue, that's why I was hopping on to blue. So this is the fifth color, and it associates with Archangel Michael, who is the leader of all archangels and also represents spirituality. Also, blue denotes the spirit world and connection with water. Besides, in the chakra system, this is the throat chakra and ability to communicate with purity. So this could have been setting. I'm hearing humble boundaries. Like, I think it's not just like humble in this sense. I feel like this is more to define your personal space with other people as to what you want to do, and not dilly dally around the word no. That could have been an issue, because people pleasing first character, not being able to say no is because you're scared to lose them and to end up alone. Um, Basically, in a broader, in a higher perspective, that is what it is. But it definitely covers really small things that come into, a person not being able to say no. But as a broader perspective, taking a broader perspective, or a higher perspective rather, I'd say, it is a fear of abandonment, right? Saying, not being able to say no. So I think that Spirit has been really teaching you, and Archangel Michael is sort of like, the one who cuts off our limiting beliefs, or where the past has to be destroyed. So I see like your work in your life, the work being done, excuse me, my bad, being done is more, because I denoted this picture, or it symbolizes some sort of like graveyard to me, which is like, a funeral, or goodbye to the past. So we have renewal in reverse. So you've been getting help from the angels to really eradicate this thought in your head, where you can't seem to find yourself. It's like relating that middle ground. See, we have the bridge between the subconscious and conscious worlds. This is the indigo color, this is the blue color, that the dark blue, right? um, it's moving towards the third eye. So that really denotes where you were not able to connect what was lying inside. And I think what this gate is opening up for you is the clarity you genuinely really need. Pile number one, if you are not seeing the significance of it, it's like you would be missing a stepping stone. How do you move forward if there are two steps missing in between? How would you bridge it? So this is such a like an important thing, because I feel like maybe it's very related with your career, where you have not been able to understand, like, where do I belong, am I doing good enough, what is my path. And considering really honestly, this is more about like being in your own lane, which is like how it's said, like, it doesn't have any traffic because it's just you versus you. So I feel like whatever was required for you to let go of can be coming through, or this is already somewhere where you're at. If you're not feeling it, you're just feeling the irritability, agitation, anger, sadness, lethargy, fatigue perhaps. Just know that this is the decay, or the what's the word, the dead Let's make it a little bit softer. The parts of you which are decay and they want to come out now. So your energy, the pent up energy within you is getting ready to be released. So it can be like, a kundalini. I wouldn't go so far, but they're telling me it is possible because this is pretty big for you. Even if it's not that, prominent for you, this could have already happened, in fact, is what I am picking up. So lastly, I really wanted to see the color green. This is Archangel Raphael. This is related with, again, this could be related to a love situation, is what I feel, but this is more related with healing. The color green represents health, love, and wealth. Again, this is all about wealth for you. I feel like there's something very related because the green is also the color of money, the heart chakra, to be able to receive and give love. So this is all that I'm reading from a website, and this was definitely guided. So I feel like what they're telling me is, again, with the green color coming over here, renewing yourself and allowing yourself to receive, because I think that because you were not feeling good enough, you were not able to call in that much. It's not about you're lazy, you're not putting in the work, but I think that there could have been procrastination on your end, or I just feel like there are deeper reasons for procrastination, right? So I'm not trying to be insensitive in any shape or manner to make you feel like you're not doing enough or you don't want to do enough. In fact, I feel like at this point, if you're relating with even half of the things that I'm saying, you definitely do have a drive to work. But what was really, really not letting you get past it was definitely, this feeling of not feeling worthy. And I think that when we talk about these things, they are just way bigger than, what do we call as insecurities. They are real issues that are born through trauma and beliefs that develop through, early years of life and infancy, that have to be really worked upon. So I feel like what's coming for you is genuine moment of clarity. I'm opening up of really opening up your crown chakra to see what needs to be done and how to reparent yourself, because this is a very important part of your journey, how to move forward. It is going to be one of those moments that you're going to look back upon, kind of like cherish and like appreciate that this happened, because it was a stepping stone, truly. Okay. So, pile number one, this was your reading. I am going to leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. The information of personal readings is given down below. And I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number two. If you choose the yellow agate, this is going to be a reading. I'm hearing something about your sexuality. So you have a lot of emphasis on releasing guilt and shame. This is the sacral chakra energy with the root chakra. So you are healing something from your childhood and past lives, something that you have been wanting to for a few lifetimes, 3, 4 lifetimes is what I'm hearing. See, the first card that we have is reincarnation. Bottom of the deck, healing. The portal that is opening for you is almost taking you through a spiritual transformation, something that is what's the word uh spirit, what's the word, a major requirement for this lifetime. Is the soul, it's a part of your soul mission, excuse me. And I see, oh, you have strong throat chakra issues. You have struggled with standing up for yourself. You have grief in reverse. Because I am looking at the picture that you chose. See, we have combustion. I might be slipping on my words quite frequently in your reading, so bear with me. First card that we have is Key to Intimacy. intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey to intimacy often includes learning what love is not. What I I want to ask you, what has your experience been like? I can only imagine it has been painful, considering you have grief, which is in reverse. I see this path in your life helping you let go. You would want to hear that, this has already been done and dusted, but what I see is like you emerging into a state of deep healing. Sorrow is going to be uh perhaps painful. Somewhere I feel like your energy is like what you don't want to hear this. Maybe you have been on this journey for a while. Something very specifically related to your sovereignty, or I'm getting a lot of sexual connotation, which is not related to the act of sex. It's just about your sexuality, who you are, and that's how I see this tying in with the person you are and why you're not able to say who you are. You might have shame and embarrassment around who you are. You like to hide that. I'm seeing that vulnerability is difficult for you uh, because you have a fear of rejection. Now, I'm not diagnosing you with anything. I am not, certified to do that. Maybe you do need therapy. If you can afford that, that would be the best investment for you, because I think that you might, I don't know what is your financial, background, or how well supported you are, or how well you are able to support yourself, but I also feel like you don't think that you deserve to invest in yourself with that amount. It's not really taught, it's not really been favored, it's not something that the previous generation, I would rather say, um, before us has actually seen as a useful tool in getting ahead in life. And that is not in terms of other people, because this image also just has a depiction of a singular person. um, for some reason I see this person coming out of the fire. It's like they're coming towards me, they're not actually going the opposite side. So this is somewhere where I feel like if this energy has been something that you have been working towards, I can see you coming out of it as well. For few of you, it is like you're going in it. For few of you, it is you're coming out of it. What we are going to be taking is more about where you're going through or with this. So they really want me to read the card that you have. I do understand the meaning of it, but there's something that they specifically want to talk to you about, your guides. Or so this says it is desirable but not easy to let a deserving other into our lives deep enough to know our full spectrum. Unconditional self love is necessary, and there's a learning curve for being able to allow another to see us and accept all that we are and we are not. I don't know if you have rejected people because you don't want to be rejected as the first person. I am also going to read the meaning of combustion from the other booklet. Combustion. A burning flame provides warmth and light through the transformation of energy, but can be destructive if not carefully tended. Consider the volatility. Is that correctly pronounced? Volatility of a given situation, and take care to monitor the level of risk involved. So, I think that you have majorly avoided getting in touch with people. Simply because it something doesn't feel right to you, is what I am picking up. You feel you feel threatened. It's like you would rather stay in the dark, neglect that need of wanting to have deeper connections in life, um, than to favor yourself. So one thing that is very important to understand, that when you're healing a pattern of loneliness or isolation, it's not necessarily to drive yourself out of desperation in finding a person. But healing would happen when you allow yourself to develop genuine connection. So I just saw 333. So for a person like you who is on the defense most of the time, who fears intimacy, it's not just because you're scared of other people's rejection, but you are scared of your own rejection in some shape or form. So the way I would place this is to understand that you are currently rejecting yourself, or you are entering, coming out, whatever it is. Okay, I am going to say, as I'm probably going to use the present tense with it. So I'm going to say that you're entering a phase where you're learning how to accept yourself and not reject yourself. So even the bitter parts of you that you perceive, like the difficult ones, the shadow attributes, and pile number two, I don't think that this has been easy on you. I am not at all claiming that this would be easy, but I see like this being a very strong gateway for you, opening up to healing, to finding the right person for yourself, a soulmate. And I feel like we limit this perspective of healing our emotional baggage into just finding that one person. But in life, not one person can fulfill all your needs. You need your family, you need your friends, you need people in different areas of your life that fulfill different needs. Not one person can fulfill all your needs, and that it can be quite contradictory, or I would say like controversial, excuse me, to what we think about monogamy and everything. But that is not something that we're taking up over here. I think that this is majorly about, first of all, where you will give yourself the opportunity to finally, like, I'm getting the landscape portrait of something, like you'll finally see the depth of full spectrum of how much this wound of intimacy has been keeping you lonely and deprived. And that's probably the reason why when somebody shows interest in you, you jump without hesitation. That's why I was being a little bit skeptical, or Spirit was skeptical about talking about going in the opposite direction of from the loneliness part to having a genuine connection in your life, because you tend to pick wrong people out of desperation, is what I'm hearing. I'm seeing 555, but that is about to change, is also what I'm hearing. Because this part of your life, because this card says intimacy often includes learning what is not love. So you could have come out of a relationship, or you are coming out of a relationship. This is a slow process. Okay, I'm hearing a burning point. So you will reach your saturation, where you'll be like, I've had enough of my own behavior. You will reach a point where you will have to look at your own pain, because the pain will be so loud or in your face, it would hurt you a lot. For a few of you, again, I keep hearing that this has already happened, but this would be in the span of 7 to 8 months. Do not expect. So, see, like, this is a core wound. How can you expect it to just be healed at once? Let's be very realistic. See, the cards that fell out were the Three of Swords, Ten of Cups, and the Two of Cups. So many emotions involved, but you always end up manifesting certain situations where the other person doesn't choose you. And this could have been because of an emotionally unavailable father figure. This could have been because of a emotionally volatile or manipulative mother figure. There's something where you have had hot and cold interactions with your parents as children or as a child, which has really given you this a pattern that has made you comfortable, where it's okay to be a little bit bad with the other person, uh, unconsciously project your fears out onto them, which gives you reassurance that they care. There's some sort of twisted way of giving and receiving love over here that you have shared with your previous partners, that ends up in costing you your sanity in some shape or form, or your mental peace, or you have attracted people that have cheated on you, but just people who can't stand intimacy. You could have been one of those people. There's something where you just could not stand being close to someone, right? The fear would get you. So it is a pattern of self-sabotage, whether it was on the end of the other person or your But I relatively see both of you doing this because you have attracted quite a lot of karmic soulmates in this lifetime, because this is a major requirement. That's what I said, right? To heal this. So deep healing, you're entering that portal. But I think that, if you're seeing this in a pessimistic manner, I would really like to turn it around for you and tell you that this is the best thing that could happen for you, because let's just say it eliminates 90% of the crap in your life, because life is already hard enough and you don't need that in your relationships. And the discernment that is required for a healthy, fully functioning adult to know which person to entertain and which person to not entertain. Because let me tell you, you are not a magnet for narcissistic or selfish people. They go everywhere. The only thing that gets us trapped is that we allow them more than we should. We don't know certain red flags are normalized. So don't blame yourself. And that's where I think that this comes in a full sphere, where you have guilt for the way you have treated yourself and your past versions. And I see this is somewhere where you have stepped in, you're stepping in whatsoever. You are learning how to forgive yourself. There are so many things, pile number two. This is quite a prominent phase in your life which will change the prototype or the blueprint that you have for yourself. This is like, I don't know if you have been praying, I'm getting that you are yourself psychic, or there's some sort of downloads that you've gotten that this can be made through, like you can get through this. I know it's painful, it's a lot of purging, it's a lot of hard work on your end to separate, or I'm getting like compartmentalized tedious emotions that come from either choosing the wrong partner and having betrayal and some sort of lack of stability in your previous partner, with your previous partners or relationships that you have chosen, or it could be the family that you were born in. So like compartmentalizing so many things, like emotions that you've experienced in your childhood, how they have turned out to be harmful or self-destructive for you, creating that familiarity in relationships, and then furthermore realizing what you need from yourself through this healing process, right? I see a lot on your plate entering this gate. But that rhymed. So maybe writing or something like that is going to be quite beneficial for you. I am going to see a lot. It is quite a lot to absorb. That is what I am picking up over here. 21 reduces to 3 as well. 3 is a number for me which is a lot about body, mind, spirit alignment. So I really see you have been asking for it. You have been asking for this elevation in your life, where you're sick of hurting yourself in some shape or form. And I feel like for some of you, trigger warning, you have been into self-harm, or you've had suicidal thoughts because of the pain, or because of the way that the kind of people that you've chosen. It's just been very, very difficult on your mental health. So much anxiety, and it's like this portal is actually the healing gateway to discernment. That's why I see like psychic powers, because you will be able to discern what people to entertain, what people to not entertain, according to what your priorities are and needs are, and what are your non-negotiables in a relationship. So I speak about non-negotiables as a way of manifesting, so that you know that what is it that you really want. Okay, what is it that you want in your life, and you make that very clear for yourself. First of all, you will have that understanding, so you won't accept anything. See, it's not about the bare minimum, it is about what are your non-negotiables. So of course the bare minimum is included in that, but is based off your own personality, your own childhood, what you require from a person. What you might require more of is something that I might require personally less of, and that is where that is your non-negotiable. So this is something that will also become clear for you, because you will see, to figure out your non-negotiables, you have to understand what comes from your childhood and how certain things become our way of being loved, right? But you get my idea, right? I hope I was able to deliver that there's no shame in wanting those littlest of things. It's not about the physical appearance, so or what your friends think, or you wanting to have their approval from other people, because you have to live that life, not other people. So figuring out what are your non-negotiables, what you would like or it would be pleasant for you to have those attributes. Or if we you probably as a person like to play squash or something, your person would be interested in some sports, sort of sports, or any sort of athletic game, or they're just sporty, you would enjoy that yourself. That is a non-negotiable, that can be a non-negotiable. You would like to bond over that. Again, there's a number of things you might or might not want, who knows, but these are the things that you are going to figure out, what is the right person for me. You're going to have offers, but I think that before those offers come in, I'm seeing you figuring out who you are and what you would like in a person. So whether it's finding genuine intellectual connectivity, which is quite important. What are their values, do they align with your future values and what you're expecting in the future. Shall you invest in them or invest in getting to know them? Asking these things beforehand when you're getting to know a person are so important, because again, if you remove the physical attraction, what is there, right? So we have balance, um, and abundance in reverse. Again, I just spoke about it. You are entering a phase where you learn to receive what you have been wanting, and without shame and feeling guilty for asking for it. I think that your understanding, like, I would sum it up. Okay, there's so many things that I've said for you, right? And I think this is pretty big, and I think you should be happy no matter how difficult this is, because no pain no gain. But it is something that you actually deserve. I don't know why I feel the need to turn your perspective around, because you see like this is a tough mountain to climb, but the view is something that you're not just going to see, you're going to breathe it, you're going to look at it, you're going to you're going to take it in. It's going to be physically, you're going to be a part of it, you're going to be the view in it. So it's not just something that you'll see and then you're sightseeing, you're a tourist, and then you'll walk off. No, that's going to be your home. You know what I mean? It's very different from sightseeing. That's going to be your reality once you climb that mountain. So there is shame from receiving and giving, but I see more as being a shame on your end for receiving, and that is where the balance will come. And see, I did not realize, but there is a mountain over here. uh Again, I think I said that in pile number one, I don't know, but something about moon cycles, the trapped energy, your vessel, where it needs to release what is not for it anymore. A version of you was required to survive till a point, but this is thrive. So you making that choice, understanding what are my non-negotiables, or using another word, needs in a relationship, or what traits I would like in a partner. Go a level beyond what you were just accepting as what was available. I think at a point you were just at the mercy of whatever was coming in your life, and you would accept it out of codependency. But pile number two, I see this changing as becoming something where you have options and you're able to make a suitable judgment using, your discernment. You're able to make a suitable selection. All right. So I feel the need to pull out one more card before I let you go. I'm hearing the song No One by Alicia Keys. So we have Path. See, this is yours. This is literally for you. This reading was destined to land in your lap. You have, kissed one too many frogs, or you will be. Um, I mean, that's not too bad, right? But I think that the wait will be over pretty soon. You're pretty close to getting what you actually want in a partner, because you're becoming that, right? So this is pretty exciting, right? I told you there is like that silver lining in this. There is a blessing in disguise, okay? Pile number two, this was your reading. I'm going to leave it here. I really do hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button. Subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below, and I'm gonna see you guys in another one. Bye bye. Hello, pile number three. If you choose the Sardonyx, this is going to be a reading. So the first card that we have for you is Melting Mask. Allow your spirit self to shine through the many roles you fulfill. The picture that I chose for you, honestly, is a little bit like intimidating. Like, you have to agree. This was like the picture I was like, I gotta use it. So this is like a, the bigger figurine is something that looks scary, but I am not getting scary vibes from it. Does that make sense? Like, images or like people at first, because there is unfamiliarity or uncertainty, you don't know who they are, or they're not your pattern, or they're not your type, or I'm trying to talk about this in a more cohesive manner. Like, it includes all relationships or types of people that you have in your life, not just romantic when I say a pattern or a type. So I think that what has happened over here, I feel that you are entering a path in your life where you are going to meet new people because of how you're changing. And I see that, this big figure that we have that is showing you the mirror, because I see you as the small person, is not just your higher self. It's like the divine's way, or whatever you would like to call it. Okay, your higher self, your ancestors, whatever it is, whatever you believe in. I'm getting more like a spirit kind of a thing over here, not exactly God or divine or the universe. I'm getting some sort of entity that is really showing you which path to take, but it is doing that by showing you a reflection of um, who you are and what you can be. And I believe that majority of you are already in this process. So whatever I would say, like, I'm doing an energetic check over here, and I would say that you are already aware of this happening to you, because you are in a process of peeling through your own layers. So this could be a lot of familial conditioning. um, I just heard Jamaican, Indian. There's a lot of emphasis on Asian or European background. It's very prominent with African. Um, you could also have like a dark skin complexion. I'm seeing something very rich about it. Like, they're showing me this could also be related with racism. Okay, trigger warning. But it is a part of life, right? That tends to happen, like discrimination, and something that I'm seeing could be quite painful for you, or you're carrying trauma in your family that has been related to the discrimination done based off the color of your skin. Especially if you're a woman. That doesn't have to take away from your struggle as a man, but then again, something about it makes me feel like I can't talk about it, or it could have been somewhere where you felt like you couldn't talk about the struggles that you've been through on a broader level at this point in your life. And I see you, pile number 3, entering. I think you have already entered this. You're learning. See, we have 16. This reduces to 7. You're learning how to value yourself, irrespective of how people have treated you or how things are in the society. I have triple 4 and we have Scorpio. See, this is about intense purging, renewing yourself. There's just something about you realizing who you are. I'm hearing je ne sais quoi. There's just something, right? I just see something about nationality, or I would place it in a manner where uh, it's very based off your geographical location. So this could tie in with, your religion, your nationality, your caste, or just how geography, or the place that you're born in. Basically, this is very tying in with your soul purpose, because this is you. You know how we do like research papers. We pick up a topic and we try to research, and we get our case studies and everything. Your soul decided to do a case study over here, being that person. That's, I know that's a very kind of a lame example, but I have to share some sort of, like, it needs to be relatable for you to understand what I'm exactly saying, right? So you are peeling off layers as a soul of what that location or that family, your family or people around your family think like. And those projections or that sort of societal norm is something that you're finding it difficult to break, or it has been difficult to break. That is what I am picking up over here. And you are actually breaking that curse. I see like saying it as a curse means something that has been difficult for people prior, your birth, or your in in your lineage before you, your ancestors, it has been difficult for them. That's why I feel like a lot of ancestral or spiritual support around you, protecting you at this point, so that you are capable of breaking it. Because there's something very strong about you being a generational pattern breaker, or something that you're trying to really repair. And you like you are somebody who is not giving down, backing down, excuse me. You're not giving this uh, of course there might be thoughts of defeat, right? Because they come in when you're facing such difficult patterns, like have been such like there have been like such concrete foundations of mankind basically. But you're not exactly defying it. I feel like I would say that you're regenerating something, you're trying out something different that is based off individuality and sovereignty. I'm really hearing, like liberty, to think and dare to do or live as you want to. I'm seeing the mirror, and there are like a few caves inside. I'm seeing like doorways where there's light and everything, and you got steps, and like spirit is showing you like you can be this, you can be that, you can be this. Like the world is truly your oyster if you just remove your mental constraints. That's what I'm seeing. And melting mask is really like allowing your spirit self to shine through the many roles you fulfill. You have been participating in different sorts of things, okay? I see like an ancient soul over here. I see like the strength within you, the tenacity within you is not just coming as a rookie soul. I feel like this is somewhere where you have understood, or you have this strength. I just see like a lot of strength within you. There's strength in vulnerability, where you are able to show who you really are. You're not scared to stand out. And you could have faced shame, or you could have been like this ties in this sort of pattern or trauma that ties in is also that comes from your childhood, where if you had narcissistic abuse or parents that were just relatively quite strict, um they could have just tried to tailor make you into something, or like an extension of themselves. Or what parents do sometimes, like they want you to fulfill certain dreams that they were not able to fulfill for themselves, because they did not see that in themselves, right? So they try to put that onto you. I see you breaking all of those barriers where you felt like you were not good enough if you don't seek your parents' approval, or if you stop seeking their approval. I also feel like there is money coming in. I just got this, it's like a notification on your phone. Like I just got this download, like there's money coming in. Um, and I think that this was not a punishment where you were going through scarcity of money, but it was to relatively cut off. Like I'm seeing somebody literally cutting off a cord, where your self worth was reliant upon money, and money being the major motive to do certain things or be unhappy with your job. There are big, big things at stake over here that you're dealing with, is what I really see here. I'm hearing no shame in the game. They're telling me to open page number 27 is not the same card. I think I'm going to read something. Wow, so this is actually the card in the guidebook of the unknown. It is natural and human to feel reluctant and fearful at the beginning of a significant change. However, to never try something new or to cease to continue when things change is to go to against life's natural rhythm of continued growth and transformation. The price that we pay to stay in what is known is stagnation and fear. What is known can quickly become comfortably familiar as we are stifling to our gradual yet ongoing progression. So they are saying that you are capable of moving forward despite any uncertainty that you might feel. You are so much more capable than the accumulation of your fears. So if this has shown up, remind you that if you do nothing different, nothing changes. And this really, see, this talks about like certain big life changes, that is, trust that you have sufficient skills and knowledge to navigate your way through an unknown aspect of your life. It may be that you have avoided or put off changing your career, changing locations, committing to a new project, starting a family, or ending a relationship for some time now. This is like a reminder. Once you choose to keep moving, the next step will be made known to you. And that is the push that you've been requiring in your life. That's what I'm guessing, okay? I think that it has been quite difficult for you because you are changing, and your reality is no longer, your external reality, I see it not matching who you are, and it is requiring you to break burn bridges, excuse me. And I see like you exiting a house. I don't know, it has been your home for a while. This could be a metaphor for anything in your life. um this could just be a pattern within you. This could be the way you see yourself. This could have been a broken foundation. But what I see over here is that it was stable for a while, but it's almost like you started finding cracks through the house, like where things were not able to be like fixed. Like it's almost like I'm seeing a house that is not stable enough to withstand the changes of seasons. Like it's raining, it becomes like a puddle. If it's snowing, it's cold, it's not able to keep you warm enough. There's something wrong, it's not sufficient enough. And I see you growing bigger in that house. So something about it is like you're a plant and now you need to be moved into a bigger pot. And that is scary because I'm seeing like you being scared of going in that environment and feeling like you won't fit in, or you won't find your match, or your place in life, because you're changing. I see your color. So they're showing me like the colors of the leaves changing. So you're changing. Of course, like what we talk about plants, like they shed and then they grow new leaves. Just because right now you're not able to see what is really happening, it doesn't mean it's not happening for you. That's what I'm really seeing over here. I am going to flip a few cards, see what you're exactly dealing with at this moment to get a little bit more context. I have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, so this is you are uh, facing blockages as of now, is what I'm understanding. And this wheel wants to turn around. I don't see it being the same way. I see like this opening up for you. So for a few of you, I'm getting the span of 5 months. There's something quite drastic here, right? So I don't know if you're going to take that leap of faith in 5 months, or you've already taken that, or this is provocation enough for you to do that, and then the results show up in 5 months. Whatever it is, I am picking up on December being quite prominent. And the I'm getting like next year August perhaps, so which wherever is August for you, how close by it is. But there will be certain endings that will have to happen, and that is what this gate is asking you to walk through. I think that it's not even an option about being stagnant. That there's something's got to give and it's got to change. And it's clearly a portal that I see you willingly take, whether there's resistance right now or not, because I don't see you backing down. I really don't doubt that. I really don't doubt that 1%, because I see like you internally want this change. You are not satisfied, or you won't be for long. Whatever breadcrumbs you're accepting in life, wherever you are related to whatever it is, um for a few of you, I really feel like this is a relationship. For others, this could be a friendship, or a career thing. But I see you standing your ground. This is Seven of Wands, Valor. um you have been building something for yourself, or you are going to become more structured in about what you want to do in your dreams, and this will open up your throat chakra. All three readings have had a connotation of throat chakra, where it is about setting clear boundaries with other people. So a lot of it is again based off your sovereignty. I don't know if you would be called towards another pile. That is possible for you. But I think relatively, change is inevitable. I think that this reading just comes with a little bit of a push, and maybe an opportunity to self-soothe that I have been in uncertain situations before, and you know what happens over time, that we think that, oh, we're stepping into an unknown territory, and then we become comfortable, and then we move again. Change is so inevitable. If you truly work, pile number 3, I would give you an advice that you didn't ask for. If you truly work for building that security within you, and relatively, it's not humanly possible, but relatively keeping it like limited on other people, things, or places, change won't feel so difficult because you're not attaching yourself. And whenever you find yourself doing, which is again so natural, that's not what I'm trying to say, that you will become, you know, an immortal human or something like that. Certain things, certain things, when we, because we're humans and we are bound to become attached to them. I think that your ability, this reminds me of that quote, which is, the intelligence of a person is understood by their ability to change. So it's not about how many books you can read or what you can preach out there, or what, I as a person can preach on YouTube and just say. It is more based on what I actually make of myself, and how flexible I can be with the changes or the flows of life and the rhythm that wants to come in my life, that actually inevitably wants me to become a better person. Like, the universe wants me to go into a bigger pot, right? So I would say, even from a personal experience, I know exactly how painful these things can be, but it's something that, if you just eradicate the root cause of it, identify where the fear is really coming from, so that you can replace it with internal and sort of like a permanent security once you heal that wound, right? It's like they're giving me the image of a leaking tap. Once you actually put in the resource that is required, or the, a resource that could be human or monetary, whatever it is, labor intensive, what is required for you to fix that, heal that, eventually it stops leaking, right? It stops bleeding, in other words. So that's what I see you entering, and in fact making that change. So whatsoever it is, it was very destined for you to make. We have reincarnation. I told you, you are an old soul. This navigation is just difficult for you because you're attaching yourself too much with, the mind is really attaching. So what you're doing is more egoic than soulful at this moment. And I completely understand that this is, difficult for you. But then again, I'm just reminding you that, um, it would be easier for you if you let spirit guide you. So whatever you need to come back to yourself, that is important. Multiverse, you are truly tapping into another timeline, is what I'm hearing. Your gifts will be more advanced, is what I'm picking up. Separation, I think that you travel a lot, astro travel. You're downloading a lot of information at this point, and you have a clear access to it. So I don't know what you call it, a sleeping journal, I don't know, a dream journal, yeah. You just write down things that you're getting. Sleeping journal, I don't know, maybe that's, another term for automatic writing. Or I would recommend like writing down just things that you feel and find, or synchronicities, excuse me, that you find throughout the day. um I honestly just feel like this reading is a little bit repetitive, because I feel like I'm just giving you more encouragement to take that leap of faith, rather than actually giving you um some sort of indication of where you're going. Because whoever chooses this pile, you already know what you have to do, and this would just come in the right time to, give you a confirmation about, like, hey, this is what you're doing and this will work out for you. Like, you have been through trial and error, but the thing is that there is no defeat. That is what I also want to add. In your situation, there's no right or wrong. Whatever you choose will be right. Just don't stay where you are because you know it's not working for you. Okay, so at this point, on this note, I am going to conclude your reading, pile number 3. This is your reading. I really hope that you found a message that was helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below, and I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye bye.